So yesterday we looked at that GFI receptacle that was failing and took it all apart and determined what the fault was. A bad 10 microfarad capacitor. But that will leave many wondering, is that all that's wrong with it? What if we change that cap? Will it actually fix it? Let's try.
Well, there's a few people on my channel that just won't be able to sleep unless they see this through to resolution. And I know who you guys are because you always make the point of telling me how something I've done has triggered your OCD and I haven't given you closure. So for my OCD viewers that just aren't getting any sleep over knowing the fact that I left this thing unknown whether changing that cap will actually fix it, okay, I'm going to change that cap that we identified and we'll see whether that fixes this FUBAR plug. These are the only two that I haven't ripped apart and destroyed, so I'm going to take this one apart and we'll not lose any parts. I'll change out the part that is broken and we'll see whether it actually fixes the fault. So I'll spare you guys the boring details of getting this thing apart and we'll pick it up once I've got it open. I know I'm not making fun of people with OCD because I understand it's a serious condition. I deal with somebody who's suffering from it, and they, in this case, they're a germaphobe, and they wash their hands about 50 times a day, carry around a bottle of hand sanitizer with them everywhere they go, are wiping everything. It absolutely drives me crazy. Everywhere I go, everything I touch, they have to come along and follow me with the Lysol wipes and wipe it down. As I say, it drives me crazy. But so I'm not discounting the condition. I just don't see the need for people to almost brag about it, come on the channel and say, I have OCD and this is, well, great. I know, okay, that's fine. You're suffering from a condition that is quite a serious condition for those that suffer from it. But I just don't feel the need that everybody has to know. You're telling total strangers about your personal medical conditions, and I just don't think that everybody really wants to know or needs to know, and that information should be kept confidential. Okay, I'm going to try and take this one apart without losing too many pieces, so that I do stand a chance that I can actually put it back together. So there's the top piece. Now we'll remove the bottom board here, and that the little spring is going to follow it. I know that now. I know where it goes. It's going to be on the bottom here. So there's the solenoid there. Okay, the cap that was the one that was bad is this one that's on the top here, over here. So I've got a 10 microfarad 25 volt cap. We'll pop it in the board here and see if that fixes this plug. Because as I say, inquiring minds want to know. I learned something else about this Weller soldering iron. I was reading the manual. I had one of my viewers put up a link for the manual for it, so I downloaded the manual, and I just found out that the tips it requires, ETA, ETB, ETC, etc., there's only certain tips that are certified for the temperature, and if you're using different tips, like the ETS that I'm using currently, because it's a long conical, you have to actually add 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you wanted the tip temperature at 700, you have to set it for 725 because of the temperature difference for the tip. So I think I will be looking for the correct tips for this one. Put the screws back in, and then we'll reassemble the plug. Or I shouldn't say be looking for the correct tips. I'd be looking for the right model for this unit, which I hope I can get today if I head to the parts store. Maybe they will have some in stock. There. And then that drops in like that. Whoops, I better move that resistor back out of the way or I'll break it. There we go. Okay, so that goes together like that. And then the solenoid goes together like that. That drops on, and then the top cover goes on like this. Alright, now I just need to connect it to my test plug, a test cord, energize it, and see whether we've resolved the problem. And then this will end it once and for all for those that I left wanting more at the end of the last one, wanting to get this problem resolved so that they would know for sure whether that was the only fault with it or whether there was another fault. Your questions will be answered momentarily. Even still got my same tape from yesterday. I can wrap around the terminals here so that I don't jolt myself when I'm testing it. Good enough. We'll plug the light in. Make sure the light's on. Plug the light in, and I'll get my test cord. Right, let's see if this thing will reset. On. And it trips. So, now you guys know that I didn't reset that time. It did reset that first time. I guess it's screwed, but now you know what the fault is. It's just the that capacitor is what goes wrong. I think probably when I reassembled this unit, something didn't make a good connection. Oh, you know what it is? It's not pushed all the way together. That might explain why it's not resetting. Let's just push the clips all the way down. And that would probably explain why the light didn't come back on when I pushed the button. It just wasn't making a connection inside. But we saw the light come on the first time, and we know that the GFI actual circuit is working because I'm able to trip it. So we know that that part is fixed. It's just that I have to put the plug back together properly. I think it'll probably work now. My tape is coming off too. Okay, is the light come on? Yeah, see the light comes on, so it just wasn't pushed together properly. And GFI trip and trip. So that's all that goes wrong with these, is that capacitor goes. So now you know, if you want to save yourself 40 bucks or whatever these things cost, knock yourself out, crack it apart, change out that bad 10 microfarad cap, and your plug will live. Thanks for watching.